guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of this video, I am pregnant again and we are so thrilled and so excited. So I wanted to share a little bit about this great news. We're just so excited. I can't even tell you how excited we are. And I'll probably do a separate video talking about symptoms and all that sort of thing through the first trimester, but I just want to share the good news and a little bit of the backstory, especially since so many of y'all have been along for our journey and, you know, getting pregnant with Nora, our first daughter, and all that kind of thing. So let's just jump right in. So, to be honest, what happened was around the end of last year, our daughter turned 1 in late October. And so in like mid-November, early December, we started talking about, okay, when do we want to get pregnant, ideally with a second child? Now, if you aren't familiar with our story, we had no reason to believe that we would struggle to get pregnant with Nora, and it took about a year to get pregnant with her. It was really challenging. And there was never any reason why. We never had any reasons why it was taking us a long time, but after about a year of trying, we got pregnant with her. And so, of course, going into trying for a second baby, we had only the experience of it taking 12 plus months. And so that was in the back of our minds of, if we would like these children ideally to be, you know, however far apart, we probably should start trying sooner than later, because if it takes a year again and then you have 9 or 10 months before the baby arrives, you know, it kind of all adds up. So we really talked about it and prayed about it, and we decided let's just start trying in January of 2021, right? That's where we are right now. Let's start trying in January of 2021, and hopefully, God willing, we will be able to conceive before the end of 2021, which would put our children between 2 and 3 years apart about. And we thought that would be great for our family. Let's just hope and pray. And so we really just said, okay, let's just jump right in. So in January, we started trying, and we got pregnant our very first try this time. The shock. I was so shocked. We were both so stunned. I was mentally so geared up for this conception to take a long time again, and I just was shocked. I don't even know another word. And I actually took, just like I did with Nora, I took a little clip of the morning that I found out I was pregnant with this baby. So I'll insert that here.
Oh my gosh. Nora, you're gonna be a big sister. Oh my gosh, I'm so surprised. Oh my gosh. This was our first month trying. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Riley's asleep in the next room. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I took this test. You probably can't see it, but there's a super light line. Yeah, you really can't see it. So I took a digital. And one of these, you can kind of see that one. Oh, but these don't lie. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So as you can see, I was just stunned. I couldn't believe it. It was so different, such a different experience to see 2 pink lines on that test right away, the very first time. I just couldn't wrap my brain around it. I think I still can't believe that we are pregnant again already. And so getting pregnant in January is the same time we got pregnant with Nora. So our babies will be almost exactly 2 years apart. They'll be like 23 and a half months apart, 23 months apart, depending on whether this baby comes early, on time, or late. Nora came late. So we will see. The other amazing thing is that we found out that this baby is a boy. We are having a baby boy this time. And that's something that we knew we wanted to find out ahead of time. And so we did a blood test. We did a blood test at one of my early appointments, and it came back that we were having a boy, and we were really, really excited. There were a lot of reasons why I was really hoping that we would have a girl, and there were a lot of reasons why I was really hoping that we would have a boy, and I just like was pulled between the two of like what I wanted. Not that it matters. You don't get to choose. And so we both would have been really thrilled either way, but there was something really cool about finding out we were having a boy, and now we will have a baby girl and a baby boy, which is so cool. And it's funny because I had someone, I'm sure I could go back through old videos and find the commenter, but one of y'all commented on a video a while back and said, it was a sit down video, and someone said, as you were talking, I just got this vision of you with Nora and a little boy on your hip in front of a house. And I've kept that. One of my office neighbors is like walking around outside. She probably sees me in here with this big ring light, and she's like, what's happening? And I've had that in the back of my head, like, wow, that really would be so cool to have a little boy and a little girl. But like I said, as we went into conceiving, it was sort of like, whatever we get, we're going to be thrilled with. And so that's the story. So we went into our first, like our early ultrasound around 8 weeks. They cannot tell whether the baby is a boy or a girl at that point. Like I said, we did that through a blood test, but that ultrasound is to make sure that the baby has implanted in a good location, to make sure that there's no fluid, extra fluid, like all of those sorts of things to make sure that everything's on track, and as a dating ultrasound, because you can go through your last missed cycle or your last missed period, and that can be accurate, but there's wiggle room. So anyway, we went in there. I think I have a little bit of footage of that, which if I do, I'll pop that in here.
All right. So everything going good?
I think
no
so.
Issues.
This is my first appointment, so, but yeah, I haven't had any reason.
The last one I did right before you was twins. So
Stop it.
I said, what's next? I made the kid cry, then twins, then yours is just back to normal.
Is this just one baby?
That is a single.
Yeah, look at that
out,
baby.
You did freak me out.
Look at that little baby.
Little
Oh,
heartbeat.
little gummy bear.
That's about right. That's how big they are right now. Super sweet. I see the little heart beating. Let me show you.
You can see the little head, little profile.
See that little flicker right there?
Yeah.
Go.
Now the funny thing is, before we went into that appointment, we walked in and I just laid down, and the sonographer was getting everything ready, and he said, oh, the mom that was just in here before you found out she was having twins and she already has 3. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I have never wanted an answer as quickly. We would have been thrilled with twins, but we would have been shocked. So I was like, you let me know whether we're having 1 or 2. And he was like, there's just one. I have to say, there was a little wave of relief, especially because Nora and this baby will be 2 years apart. So we will have 2 little ones. And so the thought of 3 little ones was like blowing my mind a little bit. And it's funny he said that, because when the mom walked out of the room, I thought she looked kind of overwhelmed or like pale maybe, but I didn't know her. I wasn't going to say anything. And so when he said, we just found out she's having twins, I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, everything looked great. The baby was measuring almost exactly to my due date, which is like in early October. Again, Nora was born at the end of October, so we're probably going to have 2 October babies. There's always the possibility that this baby boy, crazy, could come early. We could have a September baby and an October baby, but Nora came extremely late, like almost at 42 weeks. So it's hard for me to imagine that this baby's going to come early, but every pregnancy is different. Every baby is different. It would be such a great experience to not have to wait that long to have a baby. So we'll see. We will see. But we're so excited. Briefly, symptoms and whatnot. This pregnancy has been so hard. Physically, it's been so hard. I think part of that is, unlike when I was pregnant with Nora and I didn't have any children in my arms yet, I could rest when I needed to rest. I could go to bed really early. I could take a nap during the day. Obviously, I have a toddler now, so that's not an option. Or the only time when that's an option is when she is also napping, which is she's dropped to one nap, which has been hard. So that aspect, just the exhaustion, that first trimester exhaustion has really been tough because there are days where I am like dragging along. In this pregnancy, I didn't start getting nauseous until 8 weeks. And so I was thinking I might have, gotten around nausea. And I was like so excited that maybe I wasn't going to experience nausea this pregnancy because, excuse the ambient noise, we have a fire truck going by. I'm in my office, if you can't tell. And there's a lot more ambient noise here than there is at home, but overall it's easier for me to film up here. What were we talking about? Oh, right, we were talking about symptoms and just briefly, because I'll go into this more in a separate video, but it's been rough. This has been a really rough first trimester for me. I've been profoundly exhausted, as most women are during their first trimester. I mean, your body is like growing organs, growing a whole human. It's truly miraculous and so incredible and very exhausting. I thought I had swerved away from the nausea because with Nora, I was nauseous like so quickly and so nauseous right away. With this baby, it was like 8 weeks or maybe between 8 and 9 weeks. I was still feeling great with no nausea, but don't worry, it came. And so now at 13 weeks, I think the nausea is waning a little bit, but I have definitely struggled, like greatly struggled with just that like all day morning sickness. Ugh, it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling. Definitely some really strong food aversions. I've been eating a lot of just like basic foods, toast, peanut butter and jelly, applesauce, things like that, like not extremely flavorful, not extremely healthy, just like trying to get some nourishment into my body. I have done pretty well with like grilled chicken, so I've done a lot of that. It's been interesting. It's not been the easiest. Eating has not been overly pleasurable, I'll say, because I've just not felt super well. Worse than the nausea, though, has been this pregnancy rhinitis, which is basically like inflammation of the sinuses. It sort of feels like I have a sinus infection. I also am really struggling through seasonal allergies. Our allergen counts here are sky high right now. I mean, they are just out of control right now. So I'm working through that in addition to this pregnancy rhinitis. And so I just sort of feel like my face is swollen and my sinuses are swollen all the time. So there have been a lot of steam showers, neti pots. I have like a wedge pillow that I sleep on, so I'm not sleeping flat. Just everything. There's just been a lot going into trying to assist in my sinuses draining and just feeling better. But having a packed out nose and feeling like you can't breathe and all of that is just exhausting in and of itself. It's like, when you have a really bad head cold, you just want to lay in bed, you just feel awful. It's like I feel like I have a really bad head cold plus like the stomach flu or something with all the nausea, and then I'm just so exhausted on top of all of that. So I don't want to sound like I'm not grateful to be pregnant. I'm so grateful to be pregnant, but to be honest, there have been some very miserable days and moments throughout this first trimester. It's just really hard. Pregnancy is really hard work, and the first trimester I think is just so hard. I'm out of the first trimester now. I'm in my second trimester. Like I said, I'm 13 weeks when I'm filming this. I'm not exactly sure when this video will be published. I want to tell people in my circle, friends and family, before I obviously publish this publicly, but soon enough. This will be published publicly. So that's all of that. We're having a boy. We're so excited about that. We are still We don't know whether we are going to move before this baby is born. Actually, this afternoon, we are going to look at a house that looks really promising. It's really beautiful. I just try not to get my hopes up because we've looked at a lot of different houses and for different reasons, they just haven't been good fits for our family. This one looks really great, but you never know. Like, it might not be a good fit. So if this house is a good fit, then we probably will put an offer in on it and maybe we'll be moving. Just to add to the, you know what we need in our life? A move. That's what we need. When I'm growing a baby, we have a toddler, we're running businesses. Let's move as well. When it rains, it pours. So we'll see. I don't know. If we don't move or if we don't find a house in the next 2 to 3 months, then we probably will stay put until the baby is a little bit older after he is born. He is born. It's wild. We will do a nursery in our current home and then, you know, just settle in there because I have no desire to be moving in like super late pregnancy. I say that now, watch that happen. I don't desire that. That may happen. Don't desire to be moving in super late pregnancy, and certainly those first like 6 months postpartum, I don't think that's even really an option. So we'll see how everything pans out with our house, but we have space, especially now that I'm in an out-of-home office. We have space at home for the baby. So I think what we will do is actually move our guest room. If you know the layout of our house, we'll move our guest room into what used to be my office, which has a like misty grayish blue wall situation, because in the baby's room I have sort of a different decor path that I would like to take, and that room is not painted. It's just like our builder beige of when we moved in, so that would be a good like fresh slate. Plus the layout of the house, where my office is, it shares a wall with our back door, and every time you shut the back door, you can hear it, like the sound reverberates through the office, which would not be good, I don't think, in a nursery because it's pretty loud. And so instead, our guest room is a lot quieter. It's more tucked away in the house. So that's, I think, kind of the plan that we're moving forward with as far as the baby's room and whatnot. The baby will sleep in a bassinet in our room for the first while, you know, so it's not super critical, but I loved putting together Nora's nursery, so I look forward to doing that again. As far as names are concerned for this baby boy, we have had a really hard time. Now listen, I'm only 13 weeks. We still have plenty of time to decide on this baby's name. But pretty much as soon as we found out that our daughter was going to be our daughter, we had a solid list of girls' names that we really loved, and we talked through them, and we just felt like at that time when Nora was in my belly, we just felt like her name was meant to be Nora, and it just kind of came to us, and it was like on the drive home from our anatomy scan, I feel like we like had pretty much decided. Now this baby, man, I'm struggling so much more with boy names. We have some that we like, but we haven't like even settled or narrowed it down to like a short list, really. We've definitely struggled. With naming our baby boy. So if you have any suggestions for boy names that you think would sound good with our last name and would sound good with Nora, that's the funny thing too, is like I think a lot of people consider the siblings' names, you want them, like for example, I love the name Noah for a boy, but I think Noah and Nora is like a little too close for me. They're too similar. I can see why I like it because I like the name Nora, and Noah is just so similar. So anyway, we've just had a lot of conversations about boy names. I even bought like a baby name book, which I never did with Nora, and we've been going through that and writing down names we like. As far as the baby's middle name, this baby boy's middle name, we already have that picked out. So this baby's middle name will be Quinn, Quinn, because that is a family name through Riley's family tree. So Riley's middle name is Quinn. He's Riley Quinn. His father, who passed away about 20 years ago, unfortunately, of brain cancer, his father's middle name was Quinn, and it goes up the family tree. And so it's something that's really special to us and that we would love to and will use as this baby's middle name. So the baby's name will be something Quinn Lamb. We know about and we want to keep the Quinn as the middle name because it's been the middle name. I think it would be really cool to have a baby's name start with the letter R, but we haven't found a name that we love that starts with R, because Riley is his initials are RQL, his father's initials were RQL, so I just think it would be cool for it to be RQL. My mom really likes the name Reed, which I think is really cute. And I really also like the name Reese. Both of those are really cute. I sometimes wonder if a one-syllable name sounds like a bit, I don't know what the right word is, like Reed Quinn Lamb. It's just like boom, boom, boom. Whereas I think like Nora Lamb, like a two-syllable name, I think sounds maybe a little bit better. Although my name is Blair Lamb, but is a name by marriage. So anywho, naming has been fun, kind of, and a little bit stressful because even though we're early on, I'm like, good grief, we've got to like figure this out. We tend to like more of the more traditional boys' names like Connor and William and names like that. We tend to lean toward a little bit. But y'all, I do not know what this baby is going to be named. So last time when we were pregnant with Nora, you guys gave so many amazing name suggestions. So I would love to hear those again for this baby boy. And yeah, so we are just so excited. We are just really, really excited. I would be lying if I said there's not a part of me that feels nervous, way more nervous than I felt the first time around, because I was living in ignorant bliss the first time around. Now I know the reality of pregnancy, the reality of birth, the reality of postpartum, the reality of infanthood, babyhood. And it's interesting because I feel like I just have a more well-rounded view of it. I was just totally ignorant the first time because I had never been through it. This time, on one hand, I am like so excited because I know what it's like to welcome a new member of the family, and it's so special and so amazing, and there's like these moments that are so precious and beautiful. And I'm so excited to see Nora with a sibling. Her favorite toy ever is this little baby doll that she carries all around the house, and so I know she's going to be just like in love with this little baby. And every time we're at a park or anywhere, and she sees, even though she's still so little, she's only a year and a half old, when she sees a baby that's littler than her, she goes up to it and she talks. She just loves babies. So I think she's gonna really love it. I mean, I think it's gonna definitely turn our family dynamic upside down, and we're gonna all have to make adjustments. So on one hand, I know all the beauty that's coming that I couldn't have even fathomed the first time around, but I also know the struggle, and it's really not easy. The first year of a baby's life is just not a piece of cake. Like, it's definitely hard work for everyone. There's a lot of sleeplessness. There's a lot of adjustments, a lot of sacrifice. It's also worth it, but it's also, it's hard. And so I think that I have just like a clearer view of what's coming our way. And so I have maybe a little bit more anxiety about that and that sort of thing of just like, wow, okay, we're doing this again. It's funny, the last time I announced I was pregnant, one of the questions I got most prevalently was, how many children do you want? Which is funny to me because I had like just gotten pregnant. And I know that now, especially a lot of folks think, you know, when you have a boy and a girl, a lot of people are done. We might be done after this baby. We do not know. We have taken it from the very beginning. Like when we first got married, we've always said, let's just take it one at a time. Let's just have our children one at a time and reevaluate, because you just never know where you're going to be in life. You never know how your family dynamic is going to evolve. So we really don't know. In some ways, I could see us being done. I could see us having a boy and a girl and thinking, you know, our family feels complete. There are definitely benefits to having 2 children, as far as ease of travel and things like that, especially with our family, my side of the family across the country. As much as we, you know, in normal days and times like to go visit them, having 2 kids is a lot easier than having 4, 5, or 6 kids in terms of travel. But there's a lot of amazing things that come from a larger family as well. So the answer to that is we don't know. We're going to have this baby and enjoy him, and just like we did after we had Nora, we will have that conversation in due time. And if our family feels complete, then that will be that. And if we feel like we're ready to have another baby or more than one, I just don't know. We'll take it as it comes. So we've never been, I know I have a lot of friends who they want 2 kids or they want 3 kids and they know that's what they want. We've just never really known. I don't know. So we'll, you know, come along for the ride. I'll let you know whether we're done after 2 or whether we'd like to have another after that. I just don't know. I don't know. So that's the story. I am so excited to be pregnant. Riley is thrilled. Oh my gosh, that man is thrilled. When I told him I was pregnant with Nora the very first time, he was super excited, and I think for both of us there was a lot of relief mixed in with the excitement because we had been trying to get pregnant for so long. And this time, he was like, I could not believe how excited he was. He was absolutely ecstatic. He is like so excited. I think because the unknowns have been, like I said earlier, kind of cleared up. We kind of know what to expect. We kind of know to some degree what we're getting ourselves into. We've never had 2 children before, but we've had one. We've raised one baby, and we kind of know to some degree what that looks like. So he is so cute. He is just like thrilled. He talks about the baby all the time. He's so excited. He has all these nicknames for the baby, and he talks to Nora about the baby, and he's just an amazing dad, and I just can't wait to have another one and for our family to grow. So that's the story. We're expecting baby number 2, a little boy, around early October of this year. Thank you guys so much in advance for your excitement and sharing in our joy. As always, as I always said in my previous pregnancy videos, I just want to extend a special hug virtually and a special amount of love and support to anyone who is trying to grow their families and is struggling to do that. We have been there, and I know some of y'all have been at it much longer than we were, and some of you are new to trying to conceive and are maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 months in and are really struggling. And I just know how hard that is, and just want to send a special blessing to you and a special big hug to you, because I just wish we could go, as I've said so many times, I wish we could go get coffee or ice cream or something and just sit and cry together, because there is truly no wait like waiting on a baby. It's so hard. It's so hard. So special love to you guys. Anyway, I will see you guys in future videos. Like I said, look out for a video about more in-depth symptoms and signs and all that sort of thing for the first trimester. I'll be sharing that sometime soon. And anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.